Hello everyone, so let's go to the North Gauteng High Court in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. Guys, well, it was a little bit dramatic. I mean, what is Rata's courtroom without drama, right? Him jumping in and him jumping out and him getting caught and then he will say, you can take me on review. Simply because he's been pushed against the corner because his tongue slipped when it was not supposed to. But anyways, guys, a new witness took the stand by a Miss, is it yeah, Captain Philyun Hrobla. And this lady, I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but she's giving me Gen X vibes. I think maybe she was born sometime in the late 70s, probably very early 80s, but I will go with late 70s because the sarcasm that comes out of her mouth, it's like, what on earth, ma'am? You are understanding a court of law. You are supposed to be there to do what? To assist the court according to the questions that are going to be asked of you. Well, she did a great job in the beginning when she was being submitting her chief evidence with Sibanda, who was so irritating. That guy's so irritating, and she was flowing. She was answering all the darling questions that were being asked of her by the state until Ngome Zulu started. But this is what I picked up. I picked up that Ngome Zulu, his line of questioning was more on the credibility. Basically, he wanted to know about her credibility, that everything that she is going to say on the stand is credible. Then came Ramusipili, who now built on that credibility, but adding technicalities, starting with her qualifications. Where did she go to? What she studied and what courses she did internally? Did she go to FBI training on ballistics like her colleagues have, and all of that stuff? And then he got into now the technicalities, the stuff that sometimes it kind of like bore me half to death because they are talking about striers and they are talking about lines and they are talking about that. And so he was just trying to make confirmations about her findings because she says, number one, which I have a huge problem here. We are dealing with people's lives here, number one. And number two, law is about facts. Law is about facts. It's not about, oh, it's my experience, and that is how I got to see that Mr. Mangena's results were accurate. Out of what? She said she did microscopic examination. I don't think she did, honestly speaking. I doubt that she even picked up the microscope and went through all the evidence that was in the report of Mangena. All that she probably did was have a sit down with Mangena. They had a conversation about this case, and Mangena probably, who knows something about this case coming from the higher place, that, well, there's an agenda, and the agenda is to get the 5 men that stand accused of killing Senzo Meyiwa guilty. So you don't have to go through the report. That's what it gave to me. I'm not saying that's what happened, because to me it's like being diagnosed by a doctor and then you're like, let me go to second opinion, and the second opinion doctor looks at you and say, yeah, I agree with the first doctor, you got cancer, without any examination and without documenting things down, the date, the time, as well as what other processes that they conducted in order for them to have come to the conclusion that they came to. So now you have a whole scientists who did not document anything. That how do we believe you? How do we believe that you actually did conduct the confirmation tests or your opinion microscopic results, or whichever way that she was putting it? So I felt a lot of sarcasm coming from her. I felt a lot of evasiveness that came from her. I think she's got a really good command of the English language. Like, very good command of the English language. Her calmness as well. Say less, because it says more, right? That is exactly the position that she took. And the part about remembering Dave Peterson's day, or the year that Dave Peterson left the lab, the site, whatever it's called, that lab where they do ballistics in 2015, but she doesn't recall whether she's ever had a disagreement in results with Mangena before. Come on. I mean, I can still remember debates or disagreements that I've had in my first job, how many years ago? 2007 when I started working, little after college. I still remember what I disagreed on, who I disagreed with, and a whole new examination had to be done, and then turned out that I was right. So now you don't remember such a big guy like Mangen. I'm talking Oscar Pistorius big, and you don't remember having a disagreement and what that a disagreement was about. I don't. And this lady, I'm not going to say she is lying, but I am going to say that she is there to protect the reputation of Mangena. Mangena, I think, is caught founding. And now this lady came to say, you know what, I'm just going to do the best that I can to clean whatever damage that has been caused by your own testimony in court. And I'm just going to say, I don't recall this. If it pushes me against the corner, and then I'm going to answer on process the things that I know off by head because I've been doing this for eons of years. But when it comes to you and I working together, you and I ever disagreeing on things, I don't recall. I don't recall. And this is a word that we keep hearing every time coming from the state witnesses when they are pushed against the corner. So Ramusipili was doing the whole technicality on that, which, by the way, he was punching a lot of holes in her technical ways of doing the examination. The fact that she did not write things down, that plays in favor of the defense's case. But of course, we suspect that the judgment is already written and it is guilty. So all of this charade that we are playing, we are just going to listen anyways. We're going to listen. Not Ramusipili telling Felyun that he is going to add some more spice to this broth. And I'm like, Ramusipili, you're not cooking or you're helping them. It was funny. It was so funny to see that side of Ramusipili, the humor side of Ramusipili. But this lady, she was using a lot of IQs, but in doing so as well, she was not really giving what she's supposed to give, especially when it comes to the state side. She was not helping the state at all. Even the state itself, the reason why Sibanda was getting up on objections that were frivolous is because they are realizing that no, this lady is doing more damage to us than good. Because she would admit that, listen, the process is the chief examiner will examine the ballistic evidence. And then once he is done, he takes that evidence or the report to a confirmer, which was another thing where Sibanda got up on objection saying that Mangena never said confirm. And yet Mangena said it so many times. And now I think, what's his name, Mr. Mnisi, anticipated that the state might stand up and actually dispute that Mangena said the word confirm, not an opinion. Like this lady is saying that, no, he gave me a file to make an opinion on it. But she adds and say, no, microscopic opinion. And yet, this is not what's coming out of Mangena's mouth, but a confirmer. And so, luckily, because Mr. Nisi did anticipate the state disputing this, he already had evidence and he read the court records of the 30th of August 2024. I know he made a mistake and said 2023 when it's 2024, where he said over and over, this is the process that he's done. After he was done with the process, he went to have it confirmed. He went to have it confirmed. And now that it caught her off guard as well. And then she kept saying, you know what, I'm going to stick to microscopic opinion. Microscopic opinion. It was also quite hilarious to see Mr. Mnisi going to the Oxford Dictionary, the concise Oxford Dictionary, where it basically defines, where it defines what an opinion is and later on what a confirmation or confirm is in definition. So I think he jumped into an extrinsic and intrinsic interpretation of the word, basically to persuade the court that this lady She says, and she's sticking to opinion, and yet opinion simply means there is not much that you can say it's a fact, but it's something that we can say 50-50 type of situation, which kind of agrees with Dave Peterson when he looked at the evidence. Now, if you looked at Mrs. What he was dealing with, I said with Ngomezulu, he was dealing with the credibility of the witness, and then Ramusipili built on the credibility into the technicality of everything that Mangena did. Now he wanted to hear the same technicalities that the witness, the current witness, also took. Do they match? Do they contradict each other? Which, of course, we heard contradictions. And then came Nisi. Now Nisi is basically, because this is his client, that all of this is being pinned on those, that bullet and the gun is being pinned on accused number 3. So of course Nisi will have to go across the credibility, the technicalities, as well as the entire process. Yeah, he was mostly on the process. That is why he wanted what's her name, Falyun, to basically tell the process. So what is the process? When you have done your ballistic examination, you take it to a confirmer, and that's the end of the examination. But what did Mangena do? Took it to 3 more people, ending up being 4. I think 5th with him, or probably 4th with him, and they all said the same thing. So now this is why, therefore, Dave believes that this is a borderline case. It's a 50-50. It's inconclusive. So that's basically what Nisi is currently doing, and I think it's going to bore more holes in the process that Falyun took, particularly when it comes to why she did not document all of this, because it does involve people's lives. Just like a doctor that diagnoses you with cancer and then you go to a second opinion, the second doctor is not just going to look at you and be like, yeah, you are giving signs of having cancer, without examining you and documenting that into some kind of a file or whatever the case might be. So they are doing a really good job with this lady, and I could not help but hear that her voice was quite firm while she was being not cross-examined, when Sibanda was doing his thing with her. She was very firm with her voice. The moment that Mr. Mgomezulu stood up to cross-examine her, her voice started shaking. I don't know if you guys heard that. It was quite subtle, but it was shaking. And I think the shaking of her voice, she knew that she is not going there on a truthful journey. She's going there to do some damage control, and she doesn't know exactly what she is trending on in order for her to be able to clean whatever mess Serraro as well as Mangena has committed. So she decided that I'm just going to minimize myself to I don't recall, or it's not the process, or there is no clear guidance of. And that's what she was sticking on. That is why she kept saying that, listen, there's no guideline that says how many people you can go to confirm. I mean, if you are confident in your work, especially as Mangen, Oscar Pistorius type of situation, you will go to one person. And then because you know your job, you know this, you have a reputation for this. Now, all you have to do is get one more person to say, yeah, you're actually correct, or no, you are incorrect. Go to the second opinion guy and then end it there. But to go to other people, what's his name? I forgot the names of the other people. I'm so sorry. My brain today is a little bit. I just went to a spa, guys. That's why I'm shining. That is why I'm shining. One of y'all decided, hey, let me treat you to a spa in the middle of the week. So yeah, my brain is still a little bit relaxed. So I'm sorry. I know I'm making excuses. But anyways, all that had happened was that this lady, she is quite shady. Lady shady. Captain, sorry. The captain is a little bit shady, and she's being shady as well on the stand. Now, when it comes to Dave Peterson, I'm beginning to get a sense that there might be animosity or some kind of beef that lab has with Dave Peterson. I don't know if you're picking up that vibe because the way they talk about Dave, it's with such disdain, but subtle disdain. Because here, what's her name, Yoon, throwing shades, not just one, couple of shades at Dave Peterson. Firstly, he left in 2015. Okay, cool, we get that. She remembers that. That one is her mind is very clear on. Then she goes to say that they work every day. They work every day. He is a private ballistic expert. So what does that mean? He doesn't get business? And then Ramusipini comes and like, let me show it off for her that actually he has over 6,000. Now, in his mind, I think he was trying to get her to make calculations how much Dave is actually worth. Probably is worth more than what you are earning in government versus him in the private sector. Because remember, Dave also gets hired by governments. We heard in the Congo, he has done some investigations there. Can you imagine what his fees were? And other cases that he has done over 6,000. So I think Ramusipili threw the shade back at her, like, make your calculations over 6,000 cases, how much is actually worth versus you type of situation. But I sense there is beef that they may have with Dave Peterson because you could actually pick it up with Mangan when it came to Dave. I don't know, maybe Dave, I don't know, there's something going on there. That's all that I want to say, which now makes me want to hear Dave more than I've ever wanted to hear him on the stand when he takes the stand sometimes. Then at the end of the day, not towards the end of the day, guys, if you don't know me, I am a huge Macbeth fan. I've been a Macbeth fan since I was in probably primary school, even though we did Macbeth, English literature in metric, if I'm not, it was in metric or grade 11. I've always loved Macbeth. In fact, anything that has something to do with Shakespeare, I know a lot of people have a problem with the Victorian language. Me, is it Victorian? I can't remember what it is. But for me, it's English that I enjoy reading. I understand, and I like the insights of all the literatures that we've done on Shakespeare. But I must confess, I've only watched but never read the book. Yeah, Romeo and Juliet. I've only watched the movie also, but this one was at Wits University for English literature. We did, was it Romeo and Juliet? Yeah, it was Romeo and Juliet because we didn't Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, it was Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, definitely that was Romeo and Juliet. I only watched the movie but never read the literature on Romeo and Juliet. But yes, the soothsayer is in. I was very impressed with that. I'm like, you know Macbeth? That was fun for me, I must be honest with you. Anyways, guys, those are the things that I picked up today in today's proceedings at the Knockout High Court. And I apologize, guys, that my mind is a little bit, I don't know, it's so relaxed because of the spa. You know, they touch your head and they massage your face and they touch veins I never knew existed on my body. Thank you. You know who you are. Yes, it's one of y'all decided, hey, clan, let's go to a spa and relax because, because I'm quite stressed. I mean, I am stressed. So thank you. Thank you so much. Blessings to you. Abundance, abundance. I highly enjoyed myself and the beautiful lunch and conversations. I loved it. This was very, very out of character for me. I must be honest with you. It was very much out of character. But I thought, hey, if somebody wants to bless me, let me not block their blessings by saying, oh no. I just said, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, thank you so much. It was amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look at me. I'm shining and my skin is so soft and smooth. I know I'm done with the video. I'm just sharing with you about my day and why I'm a little bit like this. But anyways, guys, let's leave it right here and I will see you next time with a new video. Please do not leave the video without smashing that like button, and if you like what you see here, do consider subscribing and don't forget to click the bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. And I will see you next time with a new video. Goodbye. Love y'all.